Well, I got the front end installed on the F100, and I think it turned out pretty good. The truck originally came with a painted grille, and the front bumper was in poor shape, but I was able to find this chrome grille and bumper in Rocky Mountain House, Alberta. Nice gentleman out there gave me a good deal on them, and I think it really dresses up the front end. I changed the bumper a little bit from the original truck. The original truck had the bumper sitting lower and further out from the truck, but I thought it looked better tucked back in tight like this and up just a little bit higher. And also by doing this, it allowed me to get rid of the center section of the valance up front, and that saved me a lot of work. If I wouldn't have done that, I would have had to move the radiator back probably 2 or 3 inches, maybe reroute some transmission cooling lines to make it all fit. And this way I was able to continue using the original rad support up front and leave the rad exactly where it was, and I think the whole thing turned out okay. But just to show you what I saved here is this section here normally would have gone in the center section of the grill, and if you can look down in there, you can kind of see that it's just space now, and it seemed to work out much better. And also too, this gives probably better cooling to the rad. I don't know if it really needs it, but I just thought it was a better solution in this case than doing all that work and keeping that in place and not really seeing it at all. Okay, everything works up front too. Headlights, signals, that all fit. I used the original Crown Vic lighting and light sockets for the signals. I just drilled a hole in the housing for the signal light, and I was able to make the light bulbs fit in there, so that worked good. And the headlights worked out really good too. I was just able to use the original harness and solder on some new connectors that connected with the F100 lights, and they work good too. I'll just go underneath here and I'll show you a little bit more about how I got the bumper to fit. This too, I was kind of lucky with it. It worked out well. You can see that piece of 2x2 heavy tubing there. That's exactly how far below the original frame rail that I had to mount the bumper. And if you can see underneath here, there's this plate that was riveted onto the bumper. What I did is I popped out the original rivets that were in it and flipped it over, and then it lined up much better with the frame rails. Bolted it back on and welded that piece of 2x2 metal onto it, and drilled a couple holes through the top, and then just bolted it right onto the frame. And you can see the frame, I didn't actually have to shorten it overall. I took the plate off the front that the original Crown Vic bumper bolted onto. Kind of tough to see there, but I notched, can't see any better there. I notched out a piece up top to give clearance for the grill, and I left the bottom half the full length, and that secures the bumper now. So the bumper is bolted right onto the frame, and that piece of 2x2 metal is welded both to that plate and another bracket on the front of the bumper, so it's nice and secure. To trim the frame rails back, I had to, there you can see it, I had to cut off half the original mount for the rad support. It was still supported by half of there, but I fabricated another bracket and bolted it onto the frame, and it goes onto the front rad support mount and makes that nice and solid too. So it seems like the whole front end is pretty nice and solid now. And then if you can see over here, this was the original valance on this side, and then if I go across the center, you can see there's no valance there. So kind of hidden, you don't really see it at all, but like I said before, I thought it was a better solution in this application. Okay, there's one other thing I forgot to mention in my last update. I was going to show the seat belts inside. I was able to take some seat belts out of, I think it was a Chevy truck or GMC truck or something like that, and make a little bracket down here. It bolts right onto the same place where I bolted the cab to the frame. So it's super secure. It goes right through, and that secures the bracket, bottom bracket for the seatbelt. Made it into a 3-point. And there's a piece that goes across, gives support to the cab. I put a fairly heavy chunk of flat iron in behind here. I bent it to the same contour of this, and then bolted it up top there. So it is a 3-point lap belt. I'm going to do the same on the other side yet, but what I did is I ordered new belts, seat belts online, same style as this here, so I'll have brand new seat belts on it. And what else can I show? Here I'll turn on the headlights, show that all works up front. So that's it for this update.